Hey everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene and I am with A Room to Bloom. Today I wanted to bring forth a message starting with a deck called Better Than Yesterday. And there are actually two stacks of cards this thick, but we're just going to use one stack for right now. And the first card that's actually just sitting here on the top, I just wanted to share it. It says hi. So we have somebody whose hand, they just have their hand up, right? It says smile and say hi to five strangers. Flip the script and instead of walking with your head down in your own little world, take a second and say hello. I would even take that a step further. Take a second and say hi, right? Just want to see some. Okay, and the number on here is 220 for the message. So think about how many times we pass people. Do we uh, take a moment and say hi to people, or do we stay in this small shell and that's it? Or do we, think about how many times when you do say hi to someone and they're actually pleasantly surprised. It's like an icebreaker, if you will. Um, it's something that helps people put their guard down. I think that people, yeah, I have goosebumps on both legs. People go through things in their life where, they've built up walls. And then when we have the electronics that have added to that, isolation can happen, right? And so that sincere, the words, just saying hi, how are you today, right? And it might up a nice conversation, right? And oftentimes, this is the test to do that for yourself, but you might be really surprised on how you make another person's day, right? Just simply saying hi. So if you're pretty shy, I'm shy, and so to do that, sometimes it's like, it's pushing yourself to be courageous when maybe you wouldn't always do that, right? And maybe you do it more places than others, like say where you're comfortable, but trying that in new places, right? Oh, here we are. Ooh, you are entering the Zen zone. Create a Zen zone in your home, a space designed and decorated with pictures, candles, and other things that intentionally give you a sense of calm. Your surroundings and environment are essential in giving you peace, right? So it could be a corner of a room, right? So maybe you have a comfortable chair, a light blanket, a place to set a drink, or to have some music playing that maybe is not your telephone, so that your phone doesn't have to be on. Maybe a CD player um, for instrumental music, or having one of those nature sound machines, or a waterfall, um, a candle, uh, or like a candle and or a soft lamp, so it helps to relax you, especially when you are overstimulated. This will really help with that. So creating a Zen zone in your home, and I also encourage that for parents to help their kids create that same space, and whether it is in their rooms, or a kid friendly Zen zone, which is kind of like, so say you have a number of kids, uh, whatever the time is that, that maybe it's a particular space, but this person's going to be there. They have this much time, and so it kind of gets divvied up, and helping everyone to honor when somebody is in that space, to allow them to be, right? And so if children can have that in their room, uh, you know creating that where it's like, when I step into Zen, I turn off the other things that distract me, right? Just coming back to myself, pulling in the fragmented self. Okay, and so here we have a candle flame. All right, what else do we have? So that helps you feel better than yesterday, right? add to your favorites. Okay, and so we have a telephone, add to your favorites. Take a picture of 5 things that make you happy and then add them to a happy things album in your phone. That's really a beautiful reminder, right? Remind yourself of what makes you happy and use it to inspire yourself when you are feeling down. So, those moments of beautiful peacefulness. So one of the things that I went today is I went out on a walk, and it was another one of those days where there were just so many feathers, and I actually brought them in. They're in the other room. I might grab them simply to share them. I took a picture of each of them as I found them, which is something I've been kind of doing because I just find it interesting as I walk and I ask for signs and messages, and then there's a feather. And then it's like, what would you like to show me? There's a feather. There's so your thoughts are heard, right? So, like, when I find feathers, it's beautiful joy, right? And it always feels like such a gift, right? And so finding those things, um, or having an intentional afternoon of finding things that make you happy and taking pictures of them. You don't have to force it, but it's like, yeah, that makes me happy. Taking that extra moment or having that in your subconscious to stop during times that make you happy and to take that picture of it, right? Okay, the next one we have is treats. And this is great. I love this. This is actually a reminder for me right now. Drop off dog or cat food at a local pet shelter, local shelter, right? For animals. So, and that's really a lovely message. I have a friend who has been working, well, I have a couple of different friends that work with fostering pets, helping get their health back in order. And, they both do such a wonderful job in helping animals. So it says, shelters are always in need of resources. You'll make an immediate impact. And I know that many of them will take like blankets, towels, of course, bowls, leashes, collars, whatever, all the things that pets need, so that they can take care of them. So that's really a lovely message, and that could be one of the things that you set out to do once a month, or whatever that is, right? Where you maybe find out um, what what's a healthy option. Oh, sorry. Anyway, what's a healthy option? I was getting a confirmation is what I heard this noise, but for them, or maybe if they're in need of anything in particular. Okay, the next one is fill the swear jar. Ooh, no swearing for the next 24 hours. Exercise self control and reserve your energy for positive people and experiences. It's really amazing when if you have developed that pattern or habit in your life, um, when you make a conscious effort to not do that, uh, you know, one, you might change to a different word. Then pretty soon you're not even saying that word, right? It would have been a way to express frustration, but then pretty soon you find yourself just very calm, and you're not even needing to do that, right? The other thing is being aware of who are you around that it's like, do others bring that out in you? Not that like they make you mad and you're doing that, but like it's just like this thing that you pick up, maybe being around them, and then having awareness of it, because when you're around people who aren't doing that and then you get around people who are, you notice it a lot. think about comedians, where there's comedians who can go their whole show and they're not swearing or cussing or anything like that, but they have great stories that really keep people laughing and in great spirits, right? But then there are comedians who do swear a lot, and but that laughter could come without that, right? Okay. What's coming to me is in the word swear. I have see, we hear. It's ear. See, we listen. And so when you think about, there's a country music song that says, I've been watching you. And I'm sorry, I don't know who wrote it or sang it, but it's about little ones who are watching. In fact, there's a line in this song where the dad has to slam his brakes on and the kid's Happy Meal goes flying or whatever, and the kid swears, right? And he says, oh, where'd you learn a word like that? And he said, I'd been watching you, right? So here it's like someone's been listening, right? So really being cognizant of that for a higher vibration, right? Raising your vibration, and not just your vibration, but the vibration in your home, where you are, in your car. I have goosebumps. Okay, let's keep going. Start listening to an audio book today. This is hands-free reading. Start listening to an audio book today. Listening to someone else read allows you to just enjoy the story and the perspective. And what I think is nice about this is, let's just say you're I don't know, just cooking or prepping food, or you're cleaning, doing some light cleaning or dusting or whatever that is, right? Uh, it's like you're taking in a story or some type of information that might interest you, that might shift your perspective, that might raise your vibration. But also, the one thing I do want to say about this is, if you start listening to a book and you are thinking that it's, kind of in a certain vibration, if you will, and something starts shifting in that vibration, do you hang in and just keep listening to it, or do you recognize, do you become aware? That's it, the key, awareness. Do you become aware that something has shifted in the energy of that book that is not what your intention was when you started to listen to it, right? So it depends on, if you're purchasing these and you have an investment in it. So some people will think, oh, I have invested in this, so I'm going to follow this through, right? But remember to invest in yourself, invest in your well-being, invest in your vibration, invest in your spirit, in the light that you carry, right? um, and recognize that when there's something that's not working. Think about if you've ever either had a movie playing or you've taken kids to a movie, and you thought it was whatever, one way, and then all of a sudden there was something that was like, ooh, and you're kind of like this with the kids, whoa, that's not for kids. And you might catch something one or twice, and if that's in a movie, maybe you can get through. However, if that keeps going on, what might you do? You probably aren't going to stay. So what I'm saying is, this is like your inner child stepping up and saying, you know what, that isn't good for my spirit, that isn't good for my soul. uh, I choose to listen to lighter things. Let's not continue down that path. It's okay to reinvest in ourselves in a different way. Okay? How can I help? We have two hands coming together with a heart. Ask a coworker if there's anything that you can do to help them with today. I'm sorry, if there's anything you can help them with today. Lighten the load of someone you work with. One day they will return the favor, right? Especially like, if you know someone has a really busy schedule, or they have kids to pick up after work, but they need to get something done and it's something you can help them out with so they can get out on time. Um, that is appreciated, and that is great energy, putting that out into the universe, and understanding that that will come back to you. And you don't do it because it comes back to you. You do it because you know that you can help someone, right? You can lighten another person's load. Um, and then the laws of the universe just end up bringing back good things into your experience. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead with another one. It says adorbs. I only know one person that I ever heard say that, and I think they still say it. Ask your parents for pictures of you as a baby or a kid. You've grown so much. Take a moment to reminisce on your younger years. Adorbs. I don't know. I feel like that was something people kind of said about, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. Maybe people still say it. I'm not sure. But do you have many pictures of you as a child or a kid? And reminiscing on those younger years, because you can look at yourself, like where you are in your journey today, and you can remember the space that you were in at certain times in those photographs. In fact, those photographs could be one of your happy spaces, right? The picture of a happy things that make you happy, right? A time in your life when you knew you were happier. However, it's it's in a looking at it and saying, I remember what I felt like. I remember my level of happiness that day. I remember feeling excited because of this, or elated because of that. I remember whatever, if say it was the holidays or something, right? The joy of people getting together. And then think about the years since then and what has shifted. And so this is that, like, that childlike wonder again, right? That lightheartedness, and getting back to that. And it's not about wishing we were there. It's about taking action steps to be in that energy, right? To embody the energies, not want the energy, because then you're in a state of wanting. But it's like, I am happy. I am tapping into my inner child play. I am being creative. I am being imaginative, right? I am honoring my inner child, meaning if there's a place that I do not want to go as an adult, it might be because my inner child had an experience in some place that was feeling uncomfortable, and didn't and so the inner child in the adult doesn't want to continue to experience that. But now this goes back to like that courage card, right? Where it's like saying hi to 5 people. Well, maybe over the years someone became shy when they weren't shy because of how someone or some place made them feel. But then it's like, once you kind of face your fears and you move through them, right? You end up putting it behind you, right? And now you can observe it for what it was, which was a lesson. Okay, so we are going to go ahead to I'd like to use the Spirit of the Animals Oracle deck. And let's see what comes up here to help you on your journey. Now, all those other cards I did not keep in order. I'm just gonna set those aside. All right, so what do we have here? The swan, it speaks about grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty, right? Think about any times you have seen swans and how they do so elegantly and gracefully float along the water, right? And how they move their neck, right? Just very graceful and beautiful. And they're white, which speaks of purity. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Okay, the next one we have, you guys. Okay, cat. It says independence. You are a natural healer. Your intention is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way, right? The independentness of cats, right? Okay. And look at how pretty these are. And they're all more in the white tones. That center one there on the bottom, it's like a Siamese. But again, white. Your independence. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. Life supports you in every way, and you know this. Okay, what else do we have? We have the puffin, and it speaks about partnership. Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results, right? So partnership, it does not all have to be in black and white. So being your brightest self, right? Okay. All right. The next one that we have is tiger, and it speaks of fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave, and mighty forces come to my aid. So we have one white tiger and one orange tiger here. I think one is called a snow tiger. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and take one more of these. Pronghorn, it speaks about action. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Now is the time to act or to take action, which is interesting because in the tarot deck, fire, the element of fire is the element of wands, which are also about action, taking action, being unstoppable. What are you passionate about, right? So taking action in the direction of what you are passionate about. You can do this with grace. You can do this with independence, but I find it interesting that we have the cat that's independent, and then we have the partnership, and I have goosebumps on my right leg. So, when I think about us being like in the body of God, and it's like as individuals, like we're like little individual cells. So we have our own self, but we are part of the whole of God, right? So in partnership, so we can learn how to be in partnership and still learn how to be independent, right? Finding balance within that. Okay, on the bottom of the deck we have the raven and the raven or shaman. Okay, You are a creator and a magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as a keeper of the mysteries. Really lovely. You know, that's what crows are representative of, is mysticism, right? The mysteries of the world. So when you're seeing, you know, crows or ravens, pardon me, um, you know, that is that reminder of that, the mysteries of the journey. Okay, so that is interesting because that's on the bottom of the deck, which represents our subconscious, right? Okay, now we're going to go to angel numbers here. Okay. Saw that. Okay. There was a number that means something to me, and I saw it the second that I just did this, and then the number showed up. Okay, so what do we have under the Swan and Grace? Okay, 564, we have release drama. Serve your highest good. You are being asked to let go of something in your life that no longer serves your highest good. Your angels are validating that the situation or relationship is bringing you pain and a cycle of repetitive disruption. Your angels want you to lovingly reflect on who you are when you are with or without this situation or relationship in your life. Take a moment to pause and to do a full body stretch now. Release the energy that no longer serves you. Feel it and leave it, right? Release drama. So it asks us, and sometimes we may need to revisit a situation once we become aware of this situation. Like you go someplace and there's drama. You know, I say someplace, it could be with a person. Say you go out with a few people and there's drama. Whatever it is, right? It's just saying a relationship is bringing you pain in a cycle of repetitive disruption. So where is it time to let go of something? To let go of the drama and to step into grace, right? And what we give energy to expands. So when we back away from a situation or glide away gracefully, okay, getting goosebumps on my left leg, glide away gracefully to that which is for our highest and best. Sorry, I have some visitors maybe. Anyway, for that which is for our highest and best, then that will expand, right? Okay, the next one under the cat independent, which is what I'm watching here. 957, go forth. I just have to blow this out. I want to make sure they're safe. Okay. Okay, go forth. Stick with your decisions. And that's so interesting, right? With the cat. Independent. The choice you made is one you need to stick with. Your angels guard against vacillating any further. Wavering just delays the fulfillment of the bigger picture. Lie in meditation now with your hands on your solar plexus chakra. It's just above the navel. And repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I am confident. So interesting with the cat, right? Think about any time you've been around cats and you know which cats are super confident, right? They're like, whatever, right? Okay, come here. We'll just do this. Okay, so we're just back. Anyway, so go forth, stick with your decisions, which fell under the independent cat, right? Um, okay, so hold on. We have one that's coming here, and this is it. This is one of them. Okay, gotta get down, honey. Okay, and let's see. Sorry about that. I'm on this deck. Okay. So we have 711, and it speaks about persistence. And this one falls under, let's see, persistence falls under the partnership card about asking, accept help and your colorful personality, feel confident about being you. So, persistence, you are a joy bringer. Reap the rewards of your efforts. You've been working very hard towards your goals, but at some point you have to take all you've done and benefit from it. This would be reminiscent of the Nine of Pentacles card, okay, in the tarot deck. Your angels ask you to honor your growth. Reflect on something you've been working on for a long time and think about how far you have come. Really give yourself some credit for lessons learned, tasks accomplished, and fears faced. Give yourself a pat on the back. So, just that we were speaking about facing those fears, right? And doing it anyway. Okay, so what do we have here under the tiger fire? We have synchronicity. 279 is the number, and it speaks about looking for the signs, right? Things that keep happening are connected, even if it doesn't seem to be. So let me give you an example. A few days ago, okay, I have goosebumps again on both legs. The other day, the name Evelyn came up 4 times within 3 times in one day and one the next morning. Evelyn. In a variety of ways. And so that's a synchronicity uh, because it's not a name that you hear that often. But I did know someone with that name. So things that keep happening are connected even if they do not seem to be. The recent patterns in your life are signals from your angels. Today, ask for follow-up signs and remember that angels speak with lots of repetition. Draw a second card later and see what your angels have to say after you have spent some time paying more conscious attention, right? But find yourself in a peaceful state as you do this, looking for the signs. And that, like I said, it is asking, all right, angels and guides, I know you're here. What would you like for me to know right now? What would be helpful for me on this journey? How about would you, I'd be really grateful for you to open up a parking spot wherever it is that I'm going right now, right? And maybe you pull into the parking spot and the car that's ahead of you has a license plate with a message on it. Maybe they have something in their dashboard with a message on it or a name or something, and then you go into the store and you see that name, and things are kind of dropped along your path, and it is up to us to find out what does that mean for us, right? But what I'm getting is because it falls under I choose to be unstoppable, my passion is my power. So what are the signs that are related to your passions? Let me give you an example. Say art supplies, right? Say you enjoy doing art or creating or whatever that is. And all of a sudden, just things start seeming to fall into your presence, awareness, lap. People call and say, hey, I have this stuff. I know you like to create things. Would you like these supplies? I'm not keeping them. Or do you want to work on a project, right? Whatever that is, look for the sign. And then you might create something, and then you might be guided as to what to do with what you've created, right? Okay, under the pronghorn about taking action, we have stepping stones, right? 1, 2, 3. I just read this in one of my readings, and what it's reminding me is of this message, and it said, We don't have to do everything at once, but we can begin something at once. So beginning something right away, taking stepping stones. When you see numbers that are in a row, 1, 2, 3, like they're going up, it means you are moving forward. When they are going back, it could be saying you're taking a step back in some area of your life. You are on your way. You are on a distinct path and are well on your way to your goals. Pay attention to the details, as each choice you make presents a small part of the picture. The little things matter. Take a moment right now to close your eyes and to visualize in front of you a path leading you to your heart's desires, one step at a time, right? Take action towards that which you desire, right? Um, you can think about what it is you'd like to experience, but the universe rewards action. So when we take an action step, we're putting our energy into it, and then we have a result of some sort, and then we take another step, and then we have another result, right? And we start to see something expand because we have given it our energy, right? Okay, on the bottom of the deck we have 800 spiritual downloads. All right, so this would be subconsciously, so you might not even be aware that you are getting spiritual downloads if this is in the subconscious mind. Like, it might just, things might be coming to you and you're not really thinking that much about it, but you've got this information, right? This is an alert from your guides. It says prepare for new knowledge. So this could be coming in for you. Your angels are indicating that you will be receiving new information in the form of realizations, wisdom, and emotions. Sit in meditation and focus your energy on opening your crown chakra, the top of your head, in preparation for this divine light. Picture loving light flowing into you with ease through the top of your head and into your entire being. Spiritual downloads. And that again is on the in the subconscious mind, right? So the information is here. It's just that we're simply opening to it, and we are allowing it, and we are trusting it, and we are bringing it in, and we might sit with something for a while before we just automatically spill it, if you will, because just like this thing with the signs, so someone might have a spiritual download. This could come in a lot of different ways. It could come in the ways of a knowing. It could come in the ways of language, instruments, like learning how to play instruments, or knowing how. And so it's just like you have information, and because you have opened up to this now. But sometimes you're given pieces to the puzzle, if you will, with a download. You'll get part of the story. And so what will happen is you become more cognizant of the synchronicities, because they might be connected to the download that you received. And so therefore they're the pieces. And now it's as if say you've gone, it could be a whole day, it could be a couple of days, it could be a week, and you might have a number of these types of things going on, where one story feels like it's completed in a moment, or pieces of information. Another one might take a half a day, another one might take a day, another one might take 3 days, and another one could take however long, but it's been building and building and building. And so sit with things for a while as you receive the information, and ask if there is more, right, that you need to know. Ask for the follow-up signs, and remember that angels speak with lots of repetition, okay? All right. And all right, I'm going to go. I have angelic messenger cards today that I wanted to use. I haven't used these for a while, so let's see what messages would like to come out today. Chances are that I will be using the deck. We have a this. It looks much more blue in the camera there on the computer, but this is an aqua blue and purple. So let's see, what messages do you have here for the collective? I'm going to take the cards and then I'm going to use the book, okay? The first one we have is belief, and that falls under the swan, the grace, and release the drama. Belief, number 1. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and keep going, and then I'm going to tap into the book. Expansiveness, which is interesting because it falls under the go forth. So are you allowing yourself space to expand your mind? That's what the tagline is for this channel. Expand your mind, right? Expansiveness, go forth, stick with your decisions. Expansion is taking place here. Under the partnership and the persistence card, we have desire. So it's like, feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. So ask for help. What are your desires? What is it that you would like to accomplish? Continue to work on them through persistence, right? Reap the rewards of your efforts. Being persistent, but finding balance where we don't have to row a canoe or paddle a canoe upstream, right, with raging waters. It's just simply being in there and enjoying the ride, right? Okay, the next one we have is divine guidance, and that falls under the I choose to be unstoppable, my passion and my power. Okay, how interesting. But divine guidance also comes with synchronicity, right? That's what synchronicities are. Look for the signs. That is divine guidance being placed along your path, right? Mighty forces come to my aid. I have divine guidance. Okay, what else do we have? We have passion. Oh, we had desire and passion. That's interesting. So the passion falls under the action card. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here to follow your passions, right? Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Follow your heart. What are your passions? What are you passionate about? Okay, let's just go ahead and we're going to use the book here. I'm going to just jump over to expansiveness because this book is not in order, and I landed on this page. So the message, the angelic message is, we have come to share with you the realization that you have outgrown your belief system. God is more than you are imagining. The time has come for you to recreate God using the fullest expanse of your imagination. Even if you do this, you will still under-imagine God. There is no separation between you and the divine, or between you and your neighbor, or between you and your angelic kingdom. There is also no division within you or any other living thing, and there is no good or evil as separate forces. Both aspects of God are but mirror images of the other, and both fit within the grand design of God. In order to find yourself, you need to look within the all-encompassing divine presence. To understand your relationship with God, you need to unlearn the concept of separation and substitute the reality of expansiveness from one common source, God. To find God, you are required to go deep within, way beneath any prior learning about God, to experience for yourself the intricacy and the expansiveness of life itself. You may have formed your opinions about the divine on the basis of what you have read, learned, and observed. All these impressions are merely the thoughts, feelings, and judgments of other individuals who, like yourself, are also searching. Because you've chosen this lifetime to come to know God better, your wisdom is as true as that of others when you seek the wisdom that is your spiritual core. You are awakening to a new life, and this change requires an additional realization of your own true divine nature. You can benefit from observing God in action through the intricate beauty and the presence of the flowers. Okay. I just realized that I thought belief, the number on it was 1, but it's actually 7. Okay. Just a minute. The message is when you are able to view, even for a few seconds, the beauty and the loving nature of your inner mind or spirit, you recognize an inevitable split that lies at the basic level of your humanness. In your mind dwells a duality that allows you to be two people and to operate with two vocabularies and belief systems at the same time. One belief system is associated with showing other people the ways in which you are proficient and important. The focus in this belief system is on getting your mental and emotional needs met. The other belief system has nothing to support or prove and only wants to remind you that you can live in peace, love, and genuine abundance by accepting your non grasping self, your spirit. This second belief system focuses on helping you live in love and to believe enough in the power of this divine love that you are encouraged to respect yourself and all other living things. Quite beautiful. I'm not going to read any more of those cards, but I did want to read that one. So that is the message for today. I want to say thank you for joining me. I hope that you continue to watch for the signs, ask the questions, right? And then be present enough to see what shows up in your awareness. And one other thing that I would suggest is maybe having like a journal or a book by your bed, like on a nightstand, having one in your car and or purse if you're a woman, so that as these signs and synchronicities are coming up, you can take notes of them. And maybe you won't have the full answer yet, but then there'll be like these pieces of like a clock, right? Then all of a sudden, where it maybe wasn't making sense, everything just falls into place. And it's like, aha, this was the message. Anyway, so that's it. I want to say thanks for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care.